The governance, type of houses, governance structures, we need these leaders in the cities to resemble Kampala city. When you talk about the Lord Mayor of Kampala, he has a vehicle with the name Lord Mayor. Then in Masaka, in Mbale, in the other areas, the chairman, the mayor is still a KLC5 chairman of where he came from, with an old double cabin. My interest as I enter Masaka city, as I enter Mbale city, any other city, I want to feel that pinch, interest, love, beauty of Kampala, and my mayor should also be in that kind of status.
Of the
Madam
capital
Speaker,
city, the capital city with the with Masaka city. No, I am just looking at the difference between Masaka and then Kampala capital city. Capital. Just put the word capital.
Capital. Okay, city. But at least when you go to Arusha, you go to Dodoma, you go to Dar es Salaam, you see that kind of happiness in their areas. That's what I'm trying to bring. But I want to thank the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you.
Staff structure of cities, which was approved by Cabinet in January 2022 and adopted by the respective city councils, has never been fulfilled, which means cities are operating with less than half of the required staff. I beg the members to refer to Table 1 and see the recruitment levels of each city. Number 2, all affected cities suffered from a shortage of staff due to the ban on recruitment by public service, despite the variability of the wage. The current position by the Ministry of Public Service is that the ban applies only to the recruitment on replacement, a situation that has greatly affected staffing levels in all cities and mother districts. The committee recommends that the government should ensure the implementation of the approved human resource structure for cities and lift the ban on recruitment. Number 2, the committee recommends that the government should provide an adequate budget for both the new cities and the parent districts to remedy the shortage of staff in the financial year 2024-2025. That was then when the committee made the report. Number 3, the committee recommends that the government should fast track the Salary Review Commission in local governments. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee considered asset sharing between the cities and the mother districts. And the committee observed that the Ministry of Local Government has never issued any guidelines to facilitate the smooth operationalization of the new cities in question, including asset sharing. Number 2, the committee observed that the absence of guidelines has led to hostilities between the new cities and the parent districts. In some instances, local officials in the parent districts have taken advantage of the vacuum to sell off existing public assets, especially land. The committee recommends that the Minister of Local Government should lay before Parliament guidelines for asset sharing between the new cities and parent districts within 30 days. Number 2, the committee recommends that the Inspector General of Government, IGG, should carry out an investigation into all the alleged fraudulent transactions of assets in the newly established cities, report to Parliament within 3 months, and prosecute the culprits.
Speaker, I want to thank the chair of the committee who came in after when I was vice, and I also had the room to visit these cities when I was still vice chair, carrying out the same job. But your report is stronger than mine. So thank you very much, Honorable Abed. Madam Speaker, the issue of land in the new cities, Honorable Minister, through the Speaker, must be given a lot of attention. In the fourth portal, the old district was in control of land against the new city, and they were fighting against themselves. So who takes control of land? What is the succession and the process of taking assets from the city from the old district to the new city? Properties in Imbarara, they were complaining, Madam Speaker. The old district was in control of the offices within the city, and the new city or the administrators were not having where to sit. Could those assets be taken by the new city because they are within their jurisdiction now? And what happens to the new district? Honorable Minister, Woodsmith, you are making very good roads in these new cities. Even in Masaka we have them. But what kind of contract did you sign with the Woodsmith? Because after creation of making of these roads, there must remain equipments that will carry on routine maintenance of these new roads. But as we talk now, Madam Speaker, National Water breaks some areas. After breaking those new roads, nobody repairs them. And there is no equipment in place that will work on those roads after they are handed over by government. Places taken from different areas annexed. In Kalungu, where I come from, Masaka was a battle taking some parishes from Kalungu district, Chibisi and the Kasanji. But the resemblance from the time they were taken to the city and where they came from has not changed. There is still dust. You have put there some lights, night lights, but they are all filled with dust. People need to see that. But on what is happening is that you are putting strict laws on these new areas, stopping people from building their type of houses they are used to construct before they came into the cities. So could we see that change take place, Honourable Minister? Lastly, the governance type of houses, governance structures, we need these leaders in the cities to resemble Kampala city. When you talk about the Lord Mayor of Kampala, he has a vehicle with the name Lord Mayor. Then in Masaka, in Mbale, in the other areas, the chairman, the mayor is still like LC5 chairman of where he came from, with an old double cabin. My interest as I enter Masaka city, as I enter Mbale city, any other city, I want to feel that pinch, interest, love, beauty of Kampala. And my mayor should also be in that kind of status.
Of the capital city with the Masaka city. No, I am just looking at the difference between Masaka and then Kampala capital city. Capital. Just put the word capital.
Capital. Okay, city. But at least when you go to Arusha, you go to Dodoma, you go to Dar es Salaam, you see that kind of happiness in their areas. That's what I'm trying to bring. But I want to thank the committee. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, and thank you, Chair, for the report. Right, Honourable Speaker, I personally, we are blaming for the failure of operationalizing some of these cities, and that it is only 4 in operation. But we need also, right, Honourable Speaker, to ask ourselves, is it a necessary expense now to have these cities operational, or we want to fulfill our political obligations of having more members of parliament?
You said how many are operational?
There are 5.
No, there are 10. You have Arua, you have Gulu, Soroti, Mbale, Jinja, Masaka, Mbarara, Fort Portal, and Hoima. Those are operational out of the 15, and Lira, out of the 15.
Out of the 15.
Now 5 are the ones which are not operational.
Yes, thank you, right, Honourable Speaker, for the observation. So we are wondering if that expense is really attractive to us now to really operationalize everything. But when we go for the physical development plans, right, Honourable Speaker, there are many of our people who have been residents of those areas for a long time. And it is just upon some people to shift the way they do their things, especially on the issue of land use. Right, Honourable Speaker, our residents keep telling us, this is not only to the cities, but also the town councils and municipalities, that we do not take them through what they need to do, how they need to change their lifestyles. They have been here with graves, with their grandfathers years and years back, but the way they should behave in cities is really a challenge. And that other part of, orienting the population to fit in the city, it needs some special department in this process. Right, Honorable Speaker, the issue of waste management in cities. Very many cities, we are looking at the structural plans and looking at operationalization of the governance, but land for the green zones in the cities, land for abattoirs, land for waste management, as if that one belongs to the MPs to help their people look out for where to, drag their garbage. Right, Honorable Speaker, we would like more
You said the
elaboration.
MPs are the ones giving people where to take the garbage.
They are intervening a lot. People keep requesting them, the abattoirs, the garbage collectors and the leaders.
Don't these governments have that land?
The issues with the land, as if that
I
one
am
is
saying, don't they have the land? It's just a matter of allocation.
Yeah, some don't, and many don't have, right, Honorable Speaker.
All hear,
And the negotiation-
all hear from the minister.
And the
Because I
negotiations are
don't
not
want,
thorough.
I don't want the MPs to be seen to be the ones doing government work. It's not correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the negotiations are always not thorough. The land owners keep on complaining as if the compensations are mean, and then land
By the
titles.
way, for compensations to be done, the government valuer does the valuation.
Yes.
The compensation is not just done after seeing that this is your land. I think I should give you 5 shillings. No, there should be a valuation from a government valuer.
Yeah. Right, Honorable Speaker, thank you so much, and we thank the committee for the report.
Thank you.
Those are some of the
Alan.
observations.
Alan, Tony,
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Edakas.
I thank the committee for that elaborative report about our cities. Madam Speaker, I think going forward, we should think about making a law separately to govern and oversee the operationalization.
Which law is that?
Of
Tell
this
me the
city.
law.
Like it is with the Kampala Capital City Authority. Because as a former councillor at KCCA, this helped us so much and is still helping others there to manage the city better. Because the Ministry of Local Government seems to be overwhelmed by the too much work in supervising all the local governments in this country. Because these are cities, we need to see a change. We need to see something looking better, like how Honorable Ssewungu said, that when we go to other cities in other countries, not necessarily the capital cities, but when you go to Cape Town, when you go to Mombasa, you see at least some change in management, rather than when you go to Masaka, it still looks as if it was like LOC as a district. So
What is the LOC?
Local council or local government in Masaka.
Why are you trying to demean Masaka like it is a Masaka is a city?
In the name.
No. MP of Masaka.
And he's
Yes,
the one who made the report.
Let me first have Honorable
Right, Honorable Speaker, for the record and others who are going to read these proceedings after us, when this matter of the cities came, it was unanimous. This parliament was unanimous, and Honorable Ssewungu was there.
in the 10th Parliament.
I can forgive the MP from Chivoga, because she was not there yet, but I cannot give Honorable Ssewungu and Honorable Ssewungu. For us to start debating about cities, we are not appreciating the urbanization policy of government. And now, for you to say every city must be like Kampala or Mombasa, you are not recognizing the growth trend for any urban center. Kampala in 1923 was not the Kampala you see now. Are you in order, Ssewungu?
Madam Speaker, I was still driving my point home.
Honorable members, I like when we ask question that is this really necessary? Is it necessary to have these cities? I remember in the 10th Parliament, government had not brought all these cities. It was a give and take. It was a negotiation in the House. People said, if you want us to allow your cities, also give us in this area. It was a fault of Parliament. It was not government. It was Parliament that added cities. I am telling you, I was there for you knew.
Madam
Yes,
Speaker,
Tony.
I was driving my point home.
Right, Honorable,
finish.
the Honorable Member Ssewanyana, I want to invite him to Masaka City.
Yes.
Masaka, ever since was awarded the city status, has grown as a growth center for the entire region.
Thank you.
You need to come to Masaka and see the road network. You need to come to Masaka and see the businesses in Masaka. This parliament gave us money for a new stadium and we are constructing. I want to invite the honorable member. It is not true that Masaka has not changed. Masaka has changed greatly. It is growing. I invite you. I will pay even for your accommodation, honorable, so that you enjoy
the last time Honorable Ssewanyana was in Masaka, he was in... so he didn't see how beautiful the city is. He didn't see the beauty of the city. Yes, Tony?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Right Honorable Speaker, first of all, I want to thank the committee for the report, and I want to support the recommendations. But most importantly, Right Honorable Speaker, urbanization is very significant in development of a community and any area. And we want to support government and this parliament. In the last parliament I was there, we supported the creation of these cities. And when you look at most of these towns now, which are being supported because they have become cities, they have become municipalities, under youth meets, for example, you find it changes the structures and the life of people. The economic activities gets more high. Social services in terms of education and health and innovations and business gets much better than before. I want to give you an example of a town, Right Honorable Speaker, where you know very well Apache Town. When you get to Apache Town today, after the support under Youth Meet, the whole town has changed, is beautiful, and the business has increased. When you get to Masindi, when you get to Gulu, now the main issue here is that this will require a lot of support from government and parliament in terms of guidelines, in terms of resources and budget, so that where there are gaps and challenges in urbanization, we are able to put in resources and support it to grow. So I think the general principle here that we should support the urbanization process that government has taken, parliament has supported. Now resources are needed, and that should be the center of our discussion. How do we prioritize supporting as per the report of the chairperson and the committee? And we see that we push these centers, these cities, these municipalities, and even the rural growth centers, Right Honorable Speaker. The employment has increased as a result of having these cities, and which parliament must support. So I want to thank the committee and think we concentrate on what we need to do going forward because we know the challenges are there. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Adakas.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity. Let me also add my voice to thank the chairman for the report, and maybe just a comment on three things. One is really the issue of access to water. I think the cities, there are new cities that were approved, but with difficulties. If I use the example of Soroti City, we still have the same access point of water from Aoja supplying the city and supplying Kalaki district, Kabremaido district, and a fleet of all those. I think it would be good for the ministry to now plan the source of water for only Soroti city, and also plan other sources for the other town councils, a fleet of town councils in all those districts. In Kabremaido Town Council, we face water challenges, and it's because we are dependent on Soroti city to extend the water to Kabremaido. I think it would be important for the ministry to pay attention to that. The other is really the emoluments of local councils, which I would tell you is the same issue probably in the cities as it is in the rural areas. Most of the LC1s, their work has increased beyond what it used to be because of the growth in our economy. Today in the city, most LC1s would get paid percentile out of sales of land and things like that. They continue to look for ways to be rewarded. I think the chairman and the committee were right to point out that local councils, whether they are councillors or chairpersons LC1s, they need better, government needs to plan better for them as their level of involvement has increased. And finally, generally the role of what we call a parish or a ward has also increased. Ever since the coming of PDM, we now see large populations around wards and around parishes. And those numbers of population require better planning. As I speak, whereas our policy seems to say healthcare goes to the sub-county in terms of health center 3. There's a lot that is happening in the parish actually, and the removal of the health center 2, taking it to health center 3 is leaving a gap that is not being filled by policy. And I think that kind of policy needs to be rethought. Even in the rural areas, some parishes are too large even to just provide for the resources.
Ross,
I thank you.
Ross.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to salute the committee for work well done. I am from Terego, but occasionally I come to Arua City, which is one of the new cities. And the areas he alluded to, especially the garbage collection, is so crucial for the new cities. It will be very, very imperative upon the nation to specifically allocate money for the new cities for their operationalization, because the influx of the population is really at a very high rate. We used to run up to Kampala. Now you can imagine the number of buses that truck to Kampala every other day has reduced, because we have a city called Arua, and we share Arua with Congo and Sudan. They are lucky to have a city made out of Uganda and in Arua. And also the issue of water challenge. I think whatever National Water had planned is so small now for the cities. I think there is need to plan for water, especially water and sewage corporation. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Minister, you need to take note of the issue for the garbage. It's a very serious matter, and that's why you find somebody had brought a motion one time on retention of NTR, retention of the NTR. Gabriel, then youth.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank the chair of the committee for a very elaborate report. For me, since the window for operationalization of cities has come in, I would like to bring in the aspect of our town councils. In Zombo, we have 2 town councils which were created, but they have not been operationalized. But they are town council and Ward Town Council. The services, the money they used to get through the sub-counties, actually, the way they are being, the support they used to get from government, actually, because of the creation 5 years ago, they don't have the resources to run the town councils. Secondly, I would like also to ask the Minister of Local Government, since he has come. The policy of urbanization is good. In Zombo, we have Paida Town Council. Since 15 years ago, it has been requesting and it has been qualifying to be elevated to a municipality. To date, 15 years ago, if you see the reports chronologically, they have been qualifying, but up to now.
Honorable Kumu, let's first operationalize what was created before we create others. Because Honorable both is going to stand up, Honorable Angura will stand up on Tororo, but let's first operationalize what was created, and then now we now create others. Once we have the money. Yes, youth.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to extend gratitude to the committee for a comprehensive report. Honorable Speaker, when the chairman was reading the report, I noted one thing that really made me think twice. He noted that some cities have development plans and others don't adhere to those development plans. Honorable Speaker, as planning professionals, we are often reminded that failing to plan, we plan to fail. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, these cities that we shape in the beginning, in the end, shape our lives. For example, if you build a city and provide more spacious streets, you invite more cars. If you build a city and create more walking space, you're providing comfortable space for pedestrians. If you build a city and create more space for cyclists, you're encouraging cyclists. Honorable Speaker, even our forefathers here, by 1945, found it very important to invite a German architect to come here and plan Kampala. But when you look at it now, most of the suburbs of Kampala are growing as grand slums.
Actually,
Speaker,
when you're coming from Entebbe,
yes.
That is a welcome for you.
Yes.
When you're coming from Entebbe, when you see the buildings.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, I need to emphasize, it is imperative that we emphasize the aspect of development planning. Right Honorable Speaker, I believe strongly that these cities were created to alleviate pressure from Kampala City. Now, if we make the mistake of not planning for them properly, and if we make the mistake of not emphasizing strict adherence to development plans, we are planning to fail as a country. It will be absurd for the young people that come after us in 40 years to come to be raised in Uganda, which is one grand slum. It would be unfortunate. So I want to urge this House to emphasize strict adherence to physical development planning for this country's development. Thank you very much.
Eddie.